Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another podcast episode of Insights by OutsightX, the one-stop shop podcast to everything to know about the first IPM batch at DoMS NALSAR. Now today, in our premier faculty episodes, we have Professor Rahul with us. Now, to give you a little more introduction about Professor Rahul as well, he holds an MBA from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. He holds a doctorate as well and has been teaching the course Mathematics for Managers to us with a special twist of Excel as well, which gave us a bi-directional approach to maths in our first year itself. Now, his areas of interest primarily include operations research and operations management, and has been teaching the MBA batch as well. We want to welcome you to the podcast, sir.
Thank you, Ayush. It's been a pleasure interacting with all of you, and this has been first of its kind of initiative coming from our management students, and in fact, I'm very happy to have these kind of things starting by your batch, and that sets a good platform for the DoMS as far as IPM program is concerned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So actually, we wanted to, get your insights on a lot of topics because you have been intricately involved in a lot of processes that have been going on in DoMS. May it be the admissions process, may it be, the teaching of the students as well. So you have had both a grassroots level interaction with all the students as well as, setting the course curriculum and the other portions regarding with the department as well. So starting off, you have been taking interviews for this year's incoming batch as well. What has your experience been like in this case?
Right. So first thing, I want to talk about my admissions experience.
Right.
Okay. So I've joined NALSAR in 2014. So I have had the opportunity to interact with all the batches of MBA, and I'm fortunate enough to be the founding faculty for this IPM program. So as part of my admissions at first batch of IPM program, so we started off very late, in fact, in the month of April, and then we was very much worried about how things going to taken up by the student community per se, because we have established ourselves in the field of law. We were steadily progressing towards the field of management, but at the same time, we've sensed an opportunity in the undergrad education as far as integrated programming management is concerned. Right. Why? Because if at all you look at the management education at a PG level, the space has been extremely cluttered. Right. That's one space. Right. And second one, most of the people who come to management education at PG level, they don't have precursor or else prior exposure towards management education. Right. That is when we thought, so far the students are coming to the management without management background per se. So why don't we start inculcating or else imbibing the managerial acumen among the students at the graduation level itself, so that two things can happen. One, we get good input to our own MBA program, and also we get good, we can provide inputs to the managerial education MBA across good B schools of the world.
Right.
True to that, in fact, I will share some experiences of the last year admission process. Right from the inception, the campaign part, receiving of applications, and then sorting out of applications and sending out the admit cards, and then conducting of interviews and all. It has been a very hectic exercise, but it is very, very enriching for us as well, because the way the students exhibited the confidence and the kind of clarity they showcase in managing of the future, so that's what prompted us and instilled confidence in us that the program is going to be a huge success. And when I saw the ranks, when I compiled the result and I saw the ranks, the top 10-15 people, the difference is very, very minute. It's only in the decimals. Such has been the cutthroat competition. And not because you're interviewing me, I'm very happy to say that you're the one, AIR first rank. When I devised the merit list and all, I have seen you, Ayush Nigam, AIR 1. So I was very happy, and it has been a very strenuous exercise, but an exercise to cherish. Okay, and coming back to, what is the USP, or else what is so great about the IPM students as far as NALSAR is concerned? First thing, when we started off with the orientation program, we did invite a techie, a person from the technology field. So in our batch, we did try to maintain the diversity. Right. People from maths, people from arts, people from sciences, and people from commerce as well, and people from economics. So there is a fair mix of students. And to my surprise, in fact, not to my surprise alone, much to the surprise of the guest who was from the tech domain, the questions coming from the plus two people coming straight off the plus two, he was so awestruck. And then that's when we felt, yes, these are the students who are going to take the brand NALSAR further.
Alright, so going a little deeper into the questions that fundamentally started our batch off. So in the first year we had MFM 1, 2 and 3, which we started from, let's say, differentiation, functions, went all the way to the fundamentals of maths and linear regressions and processes like that. Now with your case, which was extremely invigorating as well, that you involved Excel with you as well. Now we remember, you teaching us in an online mode, which got shifted to an offline as well. But the same enthusiasm that we felt was there throughout, which could be seen that the course outline that had been made in such a structured way that we could feel the difference coming in each and every MFM course that came out.
Correct.
So, sir, could you shed some more light on how your MFM course structure came into being?
Right. So, as I say, we live in a world of change. Change is the only constant that keeps us driving.
Right.
But it's very essential for us to identify this change, the rate of change, and the magnitude of change.
Right.
Okay. As I said, before identifying the rate of change and the magnitude of change, we should see how the changing is behaving. That's how we started off with initial functions, limits, and then by giving you the real life examples. Okay. Because as I said in plus 2 or so, they just try to give some basic problem per se at a very basic level. Okay. There the maths is tested, but not your understanding of maths as far as the business application is tested.
Right.
Because concept per se remain in silo and may remain useless if it is not applied in proper area.
Right.
Otherwise, it remains redundant or not fit to use.
Right.
Okay. So that's when we decided, okay, let's start mathematics for managers, because these days analytics and the courses I teach as far as operations are concerned, finance is concerned, everything deals with data.
Right.
Even HR per se, which is traditionally found to be a out and out qualitative course.
People-centric.
So people-centric and then qualitative course, it is using a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So because of that, we thought that foundation should be set.
Right.
And the purpose of designing the entire curriculum of IPM is in such a way that you will try to understand and emphasize the concept you learn when you actually see the application.
Right.
Because in management, whenever we teach strategy, if we teach pestle analysis normally deals with political, environmental, social, scientific, social, technological, and then legal and environmental factors.
Right.
Okay. So political. We know what political is all about, but what is the understanding of politics and how it is going to impact the economics? What is the politics behind economics, and how this economics is going to impact the business performance of various corporates?
Right.
Okay. So for that, we need to know what is politics all about. That's why we have a subject in politics.
Yeah.
Right. Next one. So the rights of the students are concerned. What kind of rights an employee have? Right. What kind of rights the employer has? Because it's always about avoiding conflict.
Right.
The conflict can be avoided when the communication is very clear. Communication means giving the right inputs as far as the rights or duties are concerned. That's why we felt of explaining this constitution and business as a course.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Additionally, I think even Arc sir came in and talked about communication as well. That actually plummeted the same point.
Correct. Because since our childhood days, anyone which come across in our day-to-day lives,
right,
we get seriously influenced by advertising.
Right.
And as far as Indian audience are concerned, a proper story should be told.
Right.
That's how you can get the mind share of the audience. You could connect well with the audience, because the relationship management starts with right communication, and then for that you need to have a proper personality which is giving that communication. That's why we have emphasis on communication at 3 levels and then personality development at the other level. There is a proper sync between all these disciplines, because once you enter into the proper MBA curriculum from 4th year onwards, you will get to know the utility of the subject. You've learned it across all the trimesters.
Right.
Okay, that subject was taught in that particular trimester because this concept is being learned in behavioral finance and financial planning.
Right.
Or else the concept of financial derivatives, for example, or else financial management, if you're dealing with time value of money, or else if you're dealing with any derivatives per se, okay, be it options or else be it futures or forwards.
Right.
Whenever you're trying to price them, or else whenever you're trying to deal with their financials, you will get to know why did you use the concepts of, say, differentiation? Why did you use the concepts of functions?
Alright, sir. So going a little deeper into your work with the department in your capacities as well. Now we do remember you telling us about the statistical alliances that we've been building via DoMS and through DoMS as well. So could you shed some more light on those as well?
Okay. So what is the long-term perspective, or else vision. In fact, where do we want to take DoMS as a management education per se? Because when we started as an arm of reputed law university, that is NALSAR. Because if at all you look at, there are three major areas. One is the employee-employer relationship, and then the relationship between the consumer and producer, and then the financial services part of it. Okay, everywhere with the customer base increasing and the level of awareness that is being increased across customer, there is a strong need for setting the regulations right. It is nothing but rules of business. Law is not a rocket science per se. It is about setting terms and conditions on how we are supposed to operate in normal conditions, in case of dispute, in case of severance, right? So we should have this much of awareness on how to deal with things. Okay, but for that, how it is going to be applied in business forms a major task.
Right.
Okay, because if at all you also look at the nature of offences are changing from the traditional criminal offences to economic offences.
Yeah.
Okay, or else white collar crimes.
Right.
So for that, we need to have knowledge of business. That's what envisaged by the earlier management of NALSAR University, and then they came out with this MBA program.
Right.
Okay, so everywhere per se, we even take the case of Jolly LV per se, with the movie which came few years ago.
Right.
So it itself says, there are more than 3 crores of cases pending in Indian courts, and then there is the density is, per 1 lakh of population we have one judge.
Yeah.
Okay, so see, just imagine the load that happens on the judge.
The legal system is valid. Yes.
Yes. So this is where the concept of management, because again we are not doing smart work there, we are doing hard work there.
Right.
If at all we can use the principles of management in the court management practices as well.
Right.
So definitely we can improve the way justice is delivered.
Right.
That's how we envisage this program.
Right.
But however, that's a very niche area per se. And at the same time, there are some traditional audiences, big audience, because NALSAR as an institution, people want to associate.
Right.
So we, apart from the regular law-related offerings and all, we have had the traditional management offerings as well, because that's like evergreen. It's a commodity.
Right.
Management education has become a commodity, and it is present in every business. So we have to have that kind of offering on a plate as well. But as I said, with increasing population and also at PG level, it comes at a lot of filtering. Okay, if at all you look at the education system in India, what happens? People study MBBS and they pursue PG.
Right.
Their college is a consideration, but not a major consideration. Getting an entry is a consideration. As far as IITs is concerned, relatively easy, or else other good engineering colleges, relatively easy when compared to the MBBS. But if at all they pursued the graduation, majority of them end up with the jobs.
Right.
Only few try to get into PG, into the same education. If anyone who wants to get into PG, what do? They try to look for a better institution in India, or else they try to visit abroad.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a lot of filter from this section to the higher education in India. So that's why earlier there were only few management schools. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I studied my MBA, we have only a few reputed management schools, and the seats were also very, very less.
Right.
Okay. Then there was a lot of demand, but after that the demand shot up like anything, and many schools have increased. And in fact, there was a much. The supply outshot the demand.
Right.
Okay. So because of that, what has happened? We had to separate, the chaff out of the flour.
Yeah.
The grains.
Definitely.
Okay. So in what way we can proceed with respect to that? So as I said, we have envisaged, why don't we go a step down?
Right.
Okay. And then try to tap talent here.
Right. And then build from there itself.
Correct.
Right.
So we came up with that strategy, and then now we have got some good, greatest minds of the country coming in.
Right.
Okay. Last year, when I was overseeing the admissions and all, I was very happy and sad at the same time. It's like raining and have a sunny day at the same time. There comes the rainbow. Okay. So what happened there? At least some 5 or 6 students, they have had multiple offers from IIMs or IITs.
Right.
They were in a catch-22 situation, either to read, have it here, or else they have to go to other institution.
Yes.
We are happy that they are leaving NALSA for a better institution. We are also happy that we could able to tap the talent. Okay, and now we don't want the talent to restrict here itself.
Right.
Going forward, if at all they pursue higher studies abroad in reputed schools, Harvard, Stanford, and all, it's an accolade for us. But however, we are trying to build brand NALSA, and then that's when I thought, I have to move from the area of admissions and I have to focus on strategic partnerships and alliances.
Right.
Why? Because we need to give a sort of opportunities to the people.
Right.
We need to reach out to the corporates. We need to reach out to various entities and have some kind of tie-ups or partnerships with them.
Right.
Because what happens, industry interaction or else, having connect with corporate just doesn't mean that, calling them for a guest lecture.
Right.
It's a matter of, 1 hour, 2 hour interaction. That's all. That is ephemeral, may not last for a long time.
Right.
So what are we supposed to do here? We need to have long-term associations with respect to the corporates. We should give an opportunity for them to feel the campus, to feel the students.
Right.
Okay. So, and also, they should be given opportunity to come and either learn here or else they be mentors to the ones who are already learning outside.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that is where the executive education or else tie-up in terms of training or else some kind of association with respect to established bodies like NSE, BSE, okay, or else FICCI, or else Confederation of Indian Industry.
Right.
Okay. So these associations can help us to take our bright talent, because I can feel your talent. I'll give you a small example. Normally, in operations research or else in supply chain management, the problems I give, at least a person with normal intelligence, he takes 15 to 20 minutes to solve the problem.
Right.
Okay. So, but still, you as a batch set my expectations so high that such problems, I have given 3 such problems in a span of half an hour. A normal intelligence person is supposed to be solve the problems in 40 minutes, more than 40 minutes. But I did try to push your abilities.
Right.
Okay. Much to my surprise, many people, they could able to solve the problems in 20 or 25 minutes.
Right.
Such is the speed, such is the competition.
So that should essentially, wrap up a lot of the part that we have been trying to figure out here at DoMS. Might be the student's perspective, you helping us out with the department perspective as well, which should, give us one of the most information-heavy podcasts we've done up till now. So I want to thank you for being here, sir.
And before I close, in fact, there is a famous show of that is telecasted, with Ashneer Grover as one of the judges.
Right.
Shark Tank. This is the actual meaning of a shark tank. If you are put in a shark tank, how will you survive?
Right.
Because the Charles Darwin theory states that survival of the fittest.
Right.
Only the fit can survive in this world. Okay.
The whole process of getting a bigger prey into the area that you can actually figure out how to survive for yourself and create a world of your own. Because if you don't, it essentially means a life or death situation. And in a business world, which is a very cutthroat situation and cutthroat environment as well, being lively, being completely agile, and being very transformative in every process you do is very important as well.
Correct.
So you heard it here first, folks. We are trying to build our own Shark Tank, which should essentially help us, bring better talent, retain better talent, as well as grow better things here at DoMS. This is your host, signing off for a while. We're gonna be coming back with yet another podcast episode with yet another interesting story. We have Prof Rahul with us, who talked to us about a lot of instincts and a lot of portions which you need to focus on, including the future of DoMS, how the course outline has come in, what his expectations from the coming batch are, as well as the setting of our own Shark Tank.
Thank you.
This is your host signing off, and thank you so much for being here, sir.
Thanks, Ayush, and thanks teams OutsightX for bringing out such a wonderful initiative. I would like to share more of this gyan so that I can bring the best out of you, and I also can learn in this process. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned for more. We will be coming back with more episodes and coming with more insights and more people from the Department of Management Studies, NALSAR University of Law.